All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is March 2nd. We got ourselves a Thursday, and we're coming off of another sweep of a night. This hand is hot right now, guys. We hit last night. We had the Sixers. They covered for us. We had the over in the Cavs in the Celtics game. That cashed. And then we had our teaser of the Suns and the Knicks. That cashes easily as well. I cannot even begin to describe the type of heater that we are on, but we might as well keep rolling with it, right? We got 4 games on tonight's NBA slate. We're going to jump into each and every game. I'll give you my lean. I'll give you what I'm thinking. You guys know the drill by now. My final plays will be in the pinned comment. And by final plays, I mean the plays that I'm actually going to be rolling with tonight. So if you want to ride with me or if you want to fade me, you'd be crazy to be fading me as of right now. But, you know, our time will probably come. But nonetheless, guys, I cannot thank you enough for the recent support, like the views and the likes. We had over, hold on, before I short circuit, let me process this. We had over 700 likes on yesterday's video. Huh? Oh, I didn't know you guys are a bunch of psychopaths, but let's see if we can get 200 likes in today's video. We should be able to get that easily based on yesterday, but let's strive for that. That's the biggest like goal I've ever set. And saying that I don't even set like goals, but now we're getting so many likes. I'm like, why the hell not? Another challenge for us to win, right? But guys, cannot thank you enough. If you're new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into the first game. We're looking at the Wizards taking on the Raptors here. Wizards plus 1.5 at home. Total sitting at 224 right now. Wizards coming off of a win against Atlanta a couple nights ago. They were 7.5-point dogs. They win that game by 3 points. Toronto coming off a win against Chicago also on February 28th. They covered there. They won by 6 points. If you guys remember a couple nights ago, that was our only loss of the night. We had Chicago plus 5 and Toronto ends up winning by 6 points here. Last time these two teams met was back in January of last year, I believe. I don't think they've played this season. Toronto won by 4 points, but again, over a year ago, I don't think we put too much stock into that. But in their last 10 games, that's something that we can look at in terms of a trend here. Toronto 1-3 against the spread in their last 4 games on the road, 4-2 at home, leading up to that 5-5 number against the spread in their last 10 games here. Washington also 5-5 against the spread in their last 10 games. Toronto is winning games though. So when you look at this, they're 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games. They're not covering games all that easily, but they are winning these games. And this is a very low spread at 1.5. So I'm going to lean towards Toronto, even though they're on the road. I'm going to lean towards Toronto minus the 1.5 points. In terms of the total, 224, that does seem super doable by these teams. So I'm going to lean towards the over. I don't know if that becomes a final play, to be completely honest. But keep an eye on the pinned comment, guys, like we always say. And I do want to kind of expand because we got a lot of new viewers. What I do is I just love talking NBA basketball, and we've done the show this way for like 3 years now, right? So I like talking each and every game and providing any sort of insight, whether I'm smart that day or dumb that day, providing my thoughts on the game. And it seems like you guys appreciate that. In terms of what I'm actually betting and rolling with, that is what I mean by the pinned comment and the final plays. I'm not taking every pick that I go through in each and every game, especially when we have like 15 games on the slate. I'm not taking, 30 plays in one night. We're a little bit more conservative when it comes to that than that. So hopefully, guys, that makes sense. Like, I like talking the games, and it doesn't seem like you guys have problems with it. You guys have been awesome in terms of supporting lately. But I do want to make it clear that, like, I just like talking the games, and I like talking about each and every game, and I'll let you guys know how confident I am or not confident, but I want to go through the slate, you know what I mean? Not just my picks each day. It's just kind of, I guess, what we do a little differently here. But let's keep the train moving here. We do have the Mavericks taking on the Sixers. Mavericks in this one, 3-point favorites at home, total 227 in this one. Sixers cashed for us last night. What a absolute roller coaster here. We got the Sixers minus the 1.5, and then they go and they're underdogs by game time, the closing odds, and I'm like, what did we do? No, don't worry about it. Still cashes for us. So we got a little lucky there. Sixers 6-2 against the spread in their last 8. Dallas trending in the opposite direction, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games here. In terms of when they last played, not last year or not this year. So they played last year. I don't want to put too much weight into that or bore you guys with it. But what I will say is the Sixers team 6-4 against spread in their last 10. Obviously we just talked about their last 8 as well. They're playing good basketball. They are on a back-to-back. I do think this is a spot where Dallas could potentially clip them here. Joel Embiid is questionable, especially on the back-to-back there type of thing, monitoring whether or not he's going to end up ultimately playing. I think this is probably a psycho play, but I'm going to lean Dallas minus the points. I just don't love Philly on the back-to-back right now. Dallas is coming off of a night's rest, and they're at home, and they got to figure it out at some point, right? This is a game, if everyone plays, you have Joel Embiid, James Harden against Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. So I do think that this is a game where, superstars could kind of succeed here, and for whatever reason, I'm trusting Kyrie and Luka at home tonight. So make sure to keep an eye on the pin comment, like I always say, to see if that becomes a final play. In terms of the total in this one, again, 227.5. I do like the under here. Moving on, we got the Spurs taking on the Pacers here. Spurs 5-point dogs at home. Total sitting at 238, way up there. The Pacers, in their last game here, they're coming off of a win against Dallas. They were, I don't have the line in my notes here, but they were like 9-point dogs in that game. We end up cashing that as well on one of our picks a couple nights back. They win that game outright, 124-122. And San Antonio, holy crap, San Antonio got a win a couple nights ago. They were 9.5-point dogs, and they beat Utah after Utah beat them by like 16 points couple nights before here. But again, in this one, San Antonio 5-point dogs. I think that the Pacers should be able to handle them. Pacers are playing well, 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games here. I kind of trust them a little bit more than the Spurs. That shouldn't be crazy to say. And they're 3-1 in their last 4 against the spread on the road. I'm talking about the Pacers. So I am going to lean Pacers here, minus the 5 points. And I will be completely transparent with you guys. It's almost more of a fading the Spurs type of situation, right? It's not necessarily like I'm backing the Pacers, they're so good. No, it's like, okay, this is the Spurs we're talking about here. No way I'm betting on the Spurs. In terms of a total 238, I know both these teams, their defense can lack here, but I'm going to go towards the under in this one. I think that there could be a lot of points scored, but you're asking for a lot with 238. We're coming off 2 games in San Antonio, for San Antonio here, which is what I'm worried about, letting up 1,000,000 points, right? Where they only held Utah to 118 and then 94 points. Indiana in the last couple games have scored 120 plus, so they're going to do their job. I just think that maybe the San Antonio team, maybe this becomes a blowout, something like that. Like we don't really see a 240 plus type total here. I know there's not much defense that's going to be played in this game, but it's not like these two teams have an amazing, incredible offense, right? All right, guys, last game on the slate. I will say, I don't know how many final plays we'll have tonight. We'll obviously get one in there, but it is a very small slate. We're on an absolute heater, a banger of all these picks, you know what I mean? So I don't want to force anything. I hope you guys appreciate that. I know we're used to getting like 2, 3, 4 picks in the pinned comment. We'll see if that happens tonight. Again, I don't want to force anything if we don't have to, because this is kind of a muddy slate, if I'm being completely honest. Moving on, we got the Warriors 3.5-point dogs at home taking on the Clippers. Total 232 right now. Obviously, in terms of injuries, the Warriors have had a bunch of things to note here. Steph Curry still out, and Andrew Wiggins is downgraded to out. No injuries on the Clippers side of things, but they've lost 3 straight games in games that they probably could have kept close, but they didn't cover in any of them either, especially that Denver game. They lost by 10 to Denver. They really didn't show up. Jokic had a decent game there. In terms of the Warriors, even without Steph, they've won 3 straight games and covered in 3 straight games. Now, it's against the Rockets, the Timberwolves, and the Trailblazers. Not the best of the competition here. So I do think that this Clippers team, even though they haven't been trending in the right direction, I think that they can match up well against this Warriors team. I'm going to lean Clippers minus 3.5. In terms of the total, 232. I don't hate the over in this game. Now, you guys know that I like unders usually a lot more than I do overs, unless the over is such a gettable number. 232 I wouldn't consider a gettable number, but I do think that this is a game in which we could see, knotted up at 115 at one point in the game, obviously late in the game. So I do think that this one ends up ultimately going over. But that is what I have for you guys today. Hope you guys do enjoy the videos. Again, I'll be completely frank, this is a crappy slate. Let me know what you guys are rolling with in the comments. I don't love any of these games, but obviously we'll do further research in the next hour or so and get that pinned comment out to you guys, and I'll probably feel a little bit better about some of these leans, hopefully. But as of right now, those are the analytics, the data, and the insight that I do want to provide to you guys, and I cannot thank you guys enough for how awesome the support has been, and I truly mean that. So make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's stay hot. We're on a 21-4 run, and it even goes beyond that. That's just how far back the bet tracker I wanted to, see the record for. If we even extrapolate it, we're having an incredible season here, and definitely an incredible February. So I cannot thank you guys for joining the ride with me. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace out.